Hello, and welcome back to Key the Lights here on Princeton Community Television. I'm Misha, and here with us today we have Jason and Kat, members of the local Princeton LGBTQ youth group, HiTops. So, to start off, could you explain to me what HiTops is and what you do in the program?
HiTops is a youth group program that is educational towards youth, and it's quite important for youth members to learn about who they are and just figure themselves out, really.
Yeah, it's geared more towards the LGBTQ community, so gay, lesbian, transgender, asexual, all that kind of stuff. And it helps you, first of all, figure out who you are. You get to learn about the community as a whole, and you make friends, so you don't feel less isolated. And there's also a lot of health education, like sexual education and just safe transition stuff especially for trans students. Yeah.
So how long have either of you been involved with HiTops?
I just started going during the summer of last year, so I haven't been to very many meetings.
I would say probably around March of last year. Slightly before the summer started.
So I understand that there are different programs or support groups within HiTops. So what are some that are available or some that you attend?
I attend a youth group called First and Third. It meets every first and third Saturday of every month, and it's just a overall LGBTQ support group.
And I go to the one right after that, which is, I don't know exactly what it's called. It's just a trans youth group, and it's only for transgender kids, up to I think 25. And I also go to a meeting every Thursday, once a Thursday a month. That's called Pride to Pride, and it's a mentorship program. So there's maybe 10, 15 kids in that, and it's with adults, and that's only once a month.
So how has going to these support groups affected you, and how has it helped you?
I have definitely seen myself grown more confident and just overall more outgoing and comfortable with myself.
I actually transitioned while I started. I was sent at the request of my therapist, and I hadn't come out yet, so HiTops really helped me through the beginning of the school year when I came out to the student body. I've made a lot of friends. One of them I'm actually going to the prom with as a friend. So I think it's a life, it's part of my life, and I wouldn't nearly know as much about myself or about my community as a whole without going to HiTops.
So what's your favorite quality of HiTops that makes it such a safe place?
It's definitely the people who go there. They're just amazing. They're really friendly, and they just accept you for who you are.
I completely agree. I think it's not a good group when there's not people there who are willing to cooperate. And there's some kids who come in and they're shy and they don't really know very much, and maybe they're new. And unless you have people there who are really willing to bring you in, you're not gonna come back.
So is it common that there'll be some new people to the group and that they're shy, but you get to witness them become more and more comfortable?
Yeah, definitely.
All the time.
Wow, that's really a special place to be, and I'm sure it's like a safe place, so you can be comfortable there where you may not be comfortable somewhere else. So have you guys, you mentioned that you're going with someone that you met there to prom, so have you guys met a lot of people through the program?
Yeah, I have, and it's just really nice to have people, especially people who identify with you as the same thing, and just to talk about different things with them and see their experience.
Yeah, I mean, I've met a lot of people, I think more towards my Pride to Pride group because we see each other more often. But the guy I was mentioning, he doesn't actually go that much anymore because he went off to college, but we still text on a daily basis. So I have at least one friendship out of that than I did before.
Oh. So what are some special events or memories that you have of HiTops? Perhaps like the highlight of your experience?
Personally for me, I think one day before group, I was hanging out with one of my friends that I met there, and it was just an amazing experience for me because it was someone who I was really open to, and I just had a great friendship with them.
I think yours is probably better than mine, but I went to a football game for the first time through HiTops. So that wasn't really a profoundly relationship-driven experience, but it was more towards like my self-discovery. And I mean, I had a lot of fun. So it's probably one of the highlights of my life, not to mention a highlight of the program that I go to.
That sounds amazing, both of your memories. All right, so if we were talking to the viewers right now, and perhaps there's somebody in a similar situation who may not be completely comfortable with who they are right now, what would you say to recommend HiTops to them?
So definitely, it's just an amazing community, and it's just everyone's just so accepting. And if you're not out to your family just yet, the library's right there. And if you ever get like nervous, like just like with them, like finding out, it's just a really nice place to like go and figure yourself out and meet a lot of friends to help you through the process.
Yeah, I agree. And I really want to say that when you're coming out, no matter in what fashion you are coming out and for what reason you are coming out, HiTops doesn't discriminate based off of age or gender, sexuality, color, height, weight, anything like that. And as you said, if you're worried about coming out, if you haven't come out, and you don't feel comfortable yet, doesn't matter. Come to HiTops. There's plenty of stuff to do around the town that you can either use as an excuse or you can go to after. And go to HiTops, have a good time, feel confident, even if it's just for an hour in a day, in a week. Feel confident in that time with other people who honestly don't care about all of that political stuff and all of that worry and that fear. They just care about you as a person.
So has it had a profound effect on you to be around other people that were like you when it's not always something common that you see perhaps in your school life?
Yeah, it's definitely been a great help because I've been surrounded by so many people who, one, identify as the same thing as me or differently. And especially in my school, we don't get that kind of variation. So it's nice to see everyone in union, to really see them all accept each other and especially accept me.
I have a little bit of a different experience in my school. My school is very open. There's one other trans man and another genderqueer person, and I think that what sets me apart from them is that I'm more confident. I came out around the same time they did, a little bit later actually, and because of HiTops, I understand more. I'm more educated, so I'm more, I don't want to say reputable, but I'm happier, and I see the other people, and they're just a little bit more isolated. And I like to think that HiTops has helped with meeting new people as well as just learning about yourself.
Thank you so much for sharing these experiences with us. We'll be right back with Jenny and Rachel to continue interviewing.
Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm Rachel. And we are back with LGBTQ members. And so I have a question. Why don't you tell us about, do you think being lesbian, gay, bi, or trans is a choice or is it something you're born with?
It's definitely something you're born with, and it's really not a choice whether you want to be this or that. It's you really just find out later in life once you've developed and you realize these feelings that you have. And although it can be mistaken for a choice, because in the past you might have been acting a certain way and then now you're acting a different way, but it's really just developmental.
I have a lot of political debates on this with a lot of my classmates. It's not a choice. It's a choice to be true to who you are. It's a choice to stop lying, basically. I always felt the way I felt. Maybe I didn't realize what the word was. Maybe I didn't know that it was right to or okay to be who I was. Maybe I was afraid, but it's part of who you are. It's biological. Just like it's biological to be male, biological to be female. It's biological to like guys or girls or both. And it's biological to maybe the biology to make a mistake. That happens all the time. So no, it's not a choice. I've been told this so many times. I'm sure you've been told it so many times. And it's one of the worst things that you can be told by someone that, or how are you liking the choice that you made? It's almost an insult. I don't know. I feel like I get really fired up about that question. Yeah.
And so, since HiTops help with education about this sort of thing, what else has it taught you?
It's definitely taught me like ways to really be confident in myself and ways to make me feel better about myself, because definitely before I wasn't that confident, but since going there I've seen myself grow and I've seen myself become a lot more confident in who I am.
I don't have much more to add to that. It's a lot about confidence, and not only just confidence in how you look, how you present yourself, but confidence in the choices that you're making in terms of like who you want to be friends with and how you want to present yourself and whether or not you want to go through with certain things. Confidence.
Can other people that are not lesbian, bi, gay, or trans, can they come to HiTops community and be part of it?
Yeah, just as long as they're a ally and a member that is accepting to everyone.
We're allowed to bring people. I don't know for sure if people are allowed to just come in. I'm sure they are, because there's no way for certain to know why you're coming unless you outright state like you're gay, you're trans, you're lesbian, whatever. But I know I've brought people, whether it be as support in the beginning because of my lack of confidence, or just education. Sometimes you bring them in to show them what's going on and to show them that maybe we're the same people, something like that. Yeah.
So out of like, I assume there's a lot more than one LGBT group in Princeton and in New Jersey in general. So what drew you to HiTops out of other choices?
Well, I actually only heard about HiTops and it was through a friend. So I decided to one day just go see what it was like, and I've been going ever since.
It was my therapist, really. It's not a great story, but I didn't really want to go in the beginning. I thought it was going to be like an Alcoholics Anonymous group, where you state your name, you sit in a circle, and you have sob stories and whatever. And I was very resistant to the idea that other people were going through the same thing that I was. I thought that I was alone in that. And my mom wanted me to go too, and then when I went, I never went back, really, because everyone's going through, there's always going to be someone who's going through something like what you're going through, someone who's empathetic to what you're feeling at the moment. You just need to find those people, and those are friendships, really.
What are you involved with in the community? Like, what helps you with, like, what do they do to help you find who you are?
They definitely give us names for certain like feelings or sexualities or gender, and personally for me, knowing those names and those labels really help me to find what I think feels best, and it also helps me to suggest to others what they might be feeling, and bringing and seeing the joy on someone's face after realizing who they actually are really warms your heart.
Well, to clarify, are you talking about within HiTops or within?
Yes, within
like,
HiTops.
Okay, mine's a bit more physical. HiTops really gave me a lot of medical information, so therapist names, doctors that perform surgeries, places where you can buy certain clothing, and they definitely also, there's a lot of validation that they give you. So as you said, there was they give names to emotions, and they give names to fears, and I especially like Mel, who is our main counselor, definitely talks a lot about being okay with having certain problems and understanding that you can get past those things, and that you're going to grow up and you're going to get older and you're going to realize that a lot of stuff you worry about now, especially like body image and stuff like that, it's not, no one views it like that you view it like that. So, yeah.
So to clarify for like viewers that may not know certain things, do you want to talk about some common misconceptions about LGTB?
Definitely the stereotype that bisexuals are just confused. They really aren't, and they just overall just like either male, female, or just any mixture of two genders. And like having like the stigma of just being confused can really take a toll on someone's confidence, because then they might start thinking like, oh, am I just really confused, or am I just like lying to myself? And just that stereotype is not that ideal or ideal at all.
Yeah, I think that I have more experience with transgender stereotypes, so, but I also have experience, like, one of the biggest things that people ask me is when they find out that I'm a trans man is, are you gay or are you straight? Like, it doesn't change really. Like, when you're a girl and you like guys and then you transition, you still like guys. Transitioning doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change how you feel about people. It doesn't change your attitude or your emotional state. And it doesn't change your likes or your dislikes. Like, you may lie to yourself and say you hate this thing and then realize you like this thing. But like, I always enjoyed playing soccer, and it wasn't like, I just never played it when I was a girl or when I was younger. And now I play soccer in school. I try harder. I play gym more. And it wasn't because I didn't like it before. It was because I was afraid and because I was self-conscious. And I was stuck with all these gender stereotypes that you really have to break free of.
Have you ever had a negative experience through HiTops? And how did you overcome that?
Through HiTops, I've never had a negative experience.
Yeah, I don't think HiTops is the kind of place where you have negative experiences. If you're quiet and a loner, maybe you're uncomfortable being there. Maybe you were forced to go there. But if you're not, if you're willingly there, and if you participate, it's a fun time. It's not that kind of place. There's no putting down people. It's promoting.
And how does HiTop help you combat negative experiences you might face from those who are prejudiced or ignorant or whatever you want to call them?
So it definitely, with the confidence, you gain so much confidence to know, like, the people who are, like, saying these mean things are probably just ignorant. They don't really know what's going on, but you're so confident in yourself, or up to that confidence level, that you know that you're not a mistake, or you're not looking for attention. You're just who you are.
Yeah, you can bring negative experiences to HiTops. Like, you can experience something and then come in and say, hey, this happened to me. What do I do about it? Like, are my feelings about this right? Are they wrong? Should I be taking action? It's a community of peers who are going through the same experiences as you. They're all high school students, middle school students, college students as well. And they all understand prejudice and bias and phobia. So if you go in there and you say, hey, this person called me this, they will understand, and they'll also say, like, hey, maybe this happened, or maybe it wasn't meant to be like this, or maybe you should talk to someone about it. It's a cathartic kind of experience. That's really what it is. It's meant to be there for, like, therapy almost.
So, if did it help you, like, come out if you hadn't come out before, or like how it helped you with your interactions with other people, like friends or family, as you were coming to terms with this?
So personally, I already came out before I started going to HiTops, but definitely with what I've learned, I've helped others come out to their parents or to their friends, or just to people in general, and that just really helps with people understanding who they are and how they can just really be themselves around people that they feel they should be able to trust.
I'd only come up to my mom when I started going to HiTops. I hadn't come out to my dad and maybe a couple of my friends, and who are all very supportive and very heavily vetted before we said anything to them. Right after I started going to HiTops, I came out to everyone in my school. And the first couple of meetings were really about, like, what kind of experiences did you have when you were coming out? Were there negative experiences? Were there positive experiences? And most of them were positive. Some of them were, like, familial-wise negative. But I wasn't afraid of really talking to my parents about it. I was really afraid of the students because, not everyone's forgiving. But I know that when I came out, it was so much easier. It was almost anticlimactic. I was almost angry how easy it was to come out at my school personally. I was so overjoyed. I still am. I still have so many experiences where I, like, when I go into gym, there's a group of guys, and they as soon as they found out I changed my name, they just started calling me that, and they never even went back. And they brought me into their group, and we play, like, intensive sports together, and it's just such a great experience to be yourself and to really act on those exciting, like, those things that you always wanted to act on, do those things you always wanted to do. And I've talked to other people who were maybe trying to come out or trying to figure out who they were, and I've recommended HiTops to them. But I've also said, like, you know what, it doesn't matter how other people view you. It's always going to be about yourself. I'm a big advocate of you first and then anyone else. And if some people don't care, if some people don't like how you live your life, if some people don't like how you present yourself, who cares? Like, they don't matter. There's going to be millions of other people who are interested and who do care, and who are supportive of you even in the most neutral state. And there's going to be that one person who's going to hit you with all their being, and they don't matter.
Has there ever been an experience to you through HiTops that someone said something to you or just something happened that made you so happy that you knew this was like the right place for you, that it's a good community?
It wasn't really what someone said. It was more like what their actions were. This actually didn't happen in group. It happened when I was hanging out with them, and we had gone out to lunch together, and I had gotten them a drink. And throughout the whole session, they were just thanking me constantly. And just to have that friendship and to have like politeness in a way just really comforted me in a way, and it just allowed myself to be more comfortable with them and with the group overall.
Yeah, I'm in the same way. I don't think there was one select sentence that really stood out to me. It's just the overall feeling of it. There's a lot of joking around and a lot of BS that happens, and a lot of out of group joking where you walk out, and we always like text around and say like, hey, why don't we do this, or hey, why don't we go get ice cream afterwards? So I think it makes you profoundly happy when there are people who like are willing to do stuff with you and who aren't just there for that 1 hour and then just disappear. It's a community inside and out the building that kind of spans past the confines of group, that we can really just, like, we can go to a football game and hang out and not have like questions and like discussions. It's just solidarity and spending time with people. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for this interview and for telling your story. Any last things about HiTops you want to share with the community? Like, where it is?
What would you like to promote about HiTops to the community?
It's definitely just a safe space for everyone, and if you're just really confused on who you might be or just want to learn more about the community, it's a great place to go, and you do meet a lot of great friends that will help you and support you through the way.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing I want to promote is just confidence. We've been talking about it the entire time. Just be confident in yourself before anything else. You don't even have to portray it outward. Just be accepting of yourself and recognize that you're not doing anything wrong and there's nothing wrong with you. And go to HiTops and they'll tell you that. They'll teach you that. It might not be the first minute. It might not be the first day. It might not be the first month, but it'll happen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
you.
for coming. We'll see you next time at Cue the Lights. Bye.